living my dreams. I'm living my dreams. Oh yeah. Living.
Well, welcome. I'm your co-host, Adele Lassere, and I'm your marketing and advertising expert.
And I'm Taneisha Polk, and I'm your content creator and production expert.
And together, we're ADX, Inspiring the Dream podcast.
Okay, so today we have special guest who is trend-setting beauty curator and philanthropist. He has used his personal beauty experiences to help market his brand for 20 plus years. He has had a wealth of experience for not only working behind the scenes, but in front of the camera as well. He currently owns and operates the J Spot and is also my good friend, Derekj. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Hi, Derekj. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. How are you ladies doing?
We're doing great. It's great to have you.
I'm glad to be here.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So, please tell our audience what you believe are the important steps to ensure success as a personality and content creator.
Well, I think that, what ensures success is being authentic. I think people want to really see your authenticity. People think that now we're used to seeing that in person, but now you can really see that through, social media now. And people are really being their authentic selves. It's kind of weird because I find like people know me for doing hair, but that's not what really pops on my social. It's more about my lifestyle, my home, my things of that nature. Things I don't think people really care nothing about. But it's also just me being in my authentic self and being in my safe space. People really like that, and I think that's what you need to do. Just be authentic.
Right. One of the things that I do love about you with your content is that you showcase a lot about your home, your artwork, which you have a big collection of it. You want to elaborate a little bit on the artwork for people?
So yes, I was really nervous about that because I was really nervous about letting people into my house like that. But yeah, art. I started collecting art probably 15 years ago. And it was something that I didn't really understand at first. I was like, oh, okay, I'll buy this, I'll buy that. But as my collection grew, it really started to, and it's so crazy you asked it because I just realized it was maybe a week or two ago. I was looking at how my collection has grown and kind of see how it represents who I am as a person. It represents parts of my different times in my life when I was buying art and certain pieces. It's like, oh, I remember when I bought that, I was going through this. Or I remember when I bought that, this was happening here. So art is just a storytelling of our life and our history. And each piece of art I buy has its own history, but it also has a history within itself of why I bought it, when I bought it. So, so right now my collection is just growing and growing. I got to buy a bigger house now.
When you were starting out in the business and you were first getting started, what media channels played a role in getting your brand out there? Because Derekj is the brand. So how did you brand yourself?
Well, it's so crazy because back when I started out, being a brand was not a thing. No one knew the word. We knew the word brand, but we knew the word brand is in like Mattel and McDonald's.
Right.
No, we know people weren't brands when I started, so I didn't really realize that's what was happening. I was just in a space doing things, and Instagram wasn't around when I started, or none of these social media platforms. The only thing was around like Facebook. I really wasn't using that, so it just. Being on television, I started. My first show was on BETJ, which is now BET Her, which is it changed to Centric. It's all over. But my first show was on BETJ, and during that same time, we were taping Good Hair for HBO, and so that happened. And then from there, we moved to Bravo. Then from Bravo, I moved to Oxygen, but I was still on Bravo at the same time. So those are my media channels to keep me in the loop of things. That's all that it was at that time.
And so those channels, because of their reach, obviously, Bravo has like a wide variety of shows. So there's a BET, even with some of their sub channels that they have. Were the shows you're on, were they helping you get your name out there as well as part of the advertising?
Yes. So the thing about like when I got on Housewives of Atlanta, I didn't receive a check, but I did. I was more concerned about showing what I did. So
Okay.
like the first seasons I was on Housewives, I made it very clear that I was not these girls' friends. I was not trying to be at their house drinking or drink. I wasn't any of that. So what I would like, what needs to happen is that anytime that I was part of the show, I need to be doing hair. So either I need to be doing hair at their homes or they need to be doing hair in my salon. Though that is it. Like so. I made so the first 3 seasons I was on the show, I'm always doing hair. I was just never showing up to a party. It was like we're doing hair, sweetheart. So if you want me to shoot a scene, shoot your hair done. You know, so that's what kept me really stamped in the brand for who I was and what I did. And the beautiful thing about being on a show like Real Housewives is that they re-show every season, every new season. So I never go away. So like now it's like I have a 16-year-old like I love you. I'm like, well, how you know me? It's like, oh, I watch you. Like how you know? Because it just never goes. It just never goes away.
And so
That's the truth.
that just goes to show that when you told them like, hey, we need to be doing hair or whatever, it's
Mhm.
almost like it's the gift that keeps on giving.
It's a gift that keeps on giving.
You
And
know,
the thing but also it's a gift that keeps on giving, but it's also a curse because people have a very trying to you think of the right word, but a very big thought of who Derekj is. And it's way bigger than what who Derekj is. You know, like when I meet like there's some amazing hairstyles that I look up to, like Larry Sims or Oscar James or people on the younger hair artists doing good things like Tim Wallen said. This guy named the Hair Doctor. I just actually posted him on his page. He's like, "You're a legend." I'm like, well, I mean, thank you. I mean, I appreciate it, but you know, I never had, but the thing is, like for me, I never have the experience that these kids are having. Like Kellen travels with Meg Thee Stallion, so he's on private jets. He's out the country. He's all around the world. I never had that experience as a hairstylist with the artist, like you know what I'm saying. Or I have like these people that work on movie film sets, and they're doing movies for 9 months in another country. You know, I never had those type of experiences, you know, in my career. You know, so when I look at them, I'm like, you know, y'all doing some dope stuff. They're like, no, you doing dope stuff. I'm like, okay. I mean, but I'm looking at y'all like, no, y'all doing some dope stuff.
It's good though that you know it's almost like you are the blueprint though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's a good thing or whatever because it's like it's your brand, you know, and people still respect your brand whether you own jets or not. And I wouldn't say that you're not there yet. You're just not there yet. But it's coming for sure. So, what obstacles do you see for minority creators today?
Well, it's just about. I mean, the same obstacles as being minority just in general. You know, we don't. Minority creators don't get the same money, the same brand deals. They don't have to. They don't get to. They have to work a whole lot harder. They have to do a whole lot more. They do a whole lot more proving that they are worthy of the brand dollars and the brand and the partnerships. So I see that's what they have. And then, you know, being a minority creator, it's like, are you the right minority for the time? Like, are you the trend right now? Because if you're not the trend right now, then we got to go over here to this person. So it's dealing with all of that where, you know, white is always a trend. So no matter where you at, it's always, you know, it's always a space for that. But it's just depending on, as a minority, it's like, what part of the minority realm are you at this moment?
Adele, before you ask your question, I have one more question.
Sure.
That outside of the minorities, what would you say for the LGBTQ community as well? Because a lot of your community now are huge trendsetters now, and they have like completely kind of changed the game.
Yeah, but they have. But the thing about it is that, so it's one thing, how I see it is one thing, you have to have a name to really make some kind of waves and make kind of things happen. And then I guess, and it's who is it right now? And then, especially, but in the black community, black queer, as a black person in the queer community, it's always like, not you. So it's like, okay, oh, here's a black gay man, but he doesn't represent us black gay men. Oh, this here go a black gay masculine man. Oh, well, he too masculine. He not representing us. Then here's this black gay man that just this neutral. Oh, he too neutral. He ain't us. You know,
Mhm.
so it's never. It's always you're never. You never know where you fit in. And you know, and so right now, I always got flack about being too feminine, being too flamboyant, too all those things. But what I've learned, what I've seen in the space, is that there has to be these extremes to get back to the normal.
Exactly.
So even when black people start getting on television, they were
Mhm.
slaves, crackheads, they were all these bad things that people did not approve of before they was able to play a judge. But you
Yes.
have to play these
Exactly.
things first to get into this space. Yeah,
Mhm.
all in the queer community, all of the feminine, flamboyant gay people are all the ones kicking down the door. So the regular straight, masculine presenting people that don't want to say that they're gay are able to come into a space because we kicked down the door for y'all to make it comfortable enough for you to be able to come in. So we're taking all the brunt, the hits, and all that kind of stuff. So then now a more masculine presenting guy can be able to be in the gay space. I mean, be on television as a gay man and be okay.
Um, so I'm going to step back on a couple of things that you said before, because you've been on Good Hair, you've been on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, you've done a lot of TV and created content. Are you at a point in your career where you're saying you have finally made it, or you still feel like there's some steps you want to see first?
Oh no, I have not made it.
Good.
There's some things I still need to see. And the thing, and I think that what a lot of people get confused is that exposure and notoriety and 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 popularity doesn't always convert into dollars and cents. So it's right now it's figuring out how to convert all of that you have and create it into a tangible income. Until I haven't made it until I'm able to work because I want to, not because I have to.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, this is the part of the show where we have a segment called Seeds to Success.
Mm-hmm.
So influencers can impact a business goals for any given company. The key is selecting the right influencer that aligns with the company brand and looking at that influencer's personality and mission. Because I see you as a beauty icon, an influencer that's influencing a lot about what's happening in the field. For people who want to look at being an influencer, do you feel like there's certain things they need to look at when they're trying to align themselves with particular brands?
Yeah. So, well, one, you have to have have a clear understanding of what brands you want to be aligned with. And
Mhm.
secondly, you have to look at that brand within itself to see if you fit within their scope of what their brand is. I think that the issue that a lot of people have as far as influence, even myself, is that you go into a space and you're just doing with no real plan, and you're
Mhm.
like, well, why is nobody hitting me up? Well, it's like because your brand is all over the place. So it's like, what are you looking for? What are you trying to focus yourself on? Focus yourself in, and then you can align yourself around that. Like you can't be a vegan and then want to be able and be with a meat company. Like it's,
That doesn't
that
work.
doesn't really
That
work.
doesn't work.
What I'm saying. You can't be a person that doesn't go against that doesn't wear makeup, but then you want to be a influencer with Mac. Like that doesn't it doesn't work like that. So you have to first figure out like who do I want to align my brand with, and then do I fit that? And if I don't fit that, what am I willing to change to fit and align with that brand?
And do you also feel equally that the brand you create needs to be protected?
Protected as
You know,
far
in terms of ensuring that, like what you just mentioned, you're not all over the place
Mhm.
and you're selective and going back to what you said at the very beginning, authentic,
Yes.
protecting that authentic.
Yeah,
Yes.
but that's also a catch-22. Like for me, the reason why, like I don't have a lot of brand partnerships only because I haven't done a lot of brand partnerships only because I'm a firm believer of I want to be part of a brand that I actually really do believe in, something that I use, something that I want to be a part of. But with that also being said, is that it limits who you're working with. So the thing is that you have these brand deals come in that you'd be like, well, I mean, I don't really, you know, care about that. Like, I'm not. That's not my passion. So that means now you just left money on the table that you could have done. So it's like it's a real fine line. And like when we was on strike, I'm like, who got money? I like whatever y'all like. If you want me to do that, I can do that too.
We're laughing about this, but
But
I've worked on McDonald's for many years, and I got to tell you, like, some of the influencers that we worked with, it's like we had people that would come and say, "Oh, I want to work with McDonald's," and we're like, "How's that?" Going back to your point, you're a vegan.
right,
How's that gonna work?
Right, right.
we don't have any vegan options here. Like, what? How are you gonna be part of this situation? But yeah,
Exactly.
so it is. So it's like I think that it just get like this whole because there's so much money to be made out there. So your decisions get very skewed when it comes down to money.
I think that with
That's true.
the part of the success that comes like in your area with a lot of just creating content, and I think some people, they just naturally just create content just because they're just being who they are, which goes
Right.
back to what you said about being authentic, and then it picks up with like a niche, and it's just like, oh, what do
Mm-hmm.
I do now? Because now you are going to have all of the brand deals coming to you, and all that. So would
Hmm.
you say that once like for example, if somebody just messing around and it takes off and it becomes the new thing now is trending,
Mm-hmm.
and you become a trend,
Right.
would you say that it's important for them to still get like what do they call it? Is it stage presence? And they teach you how to do this. Like for example, I saw the interview. I don't know if you guys saw, but I saw a clip of the interview that CNN did with the rapper Glorilla.
Right.
Right?
Hmm.
Obviously she's just a young girl who was rapping, having fun with her friends. It took off, and now she's this brand. She's at the White House with Joe Biden and stuff. And so when CNN, they interview her, and she's just like, she's deflecting one when they asking her about votes and everything, but then she also says something like, listen, I'm not into the politics. Every story gotta start somewhere, and everything gotta end. And we was just like, but in a sense, it's just like you proud of especially minorities. You proud of them when they make it to that level. But then it's just like I wish somebody would have got in there and kind of gave her some type of training. You know what I'm saying? Of how to properly answer that question.
Yeah, media
Well,
training.
so yeah,
Me,
so
that's
so
the
yeah,
word I was looking
media
for.
training. So the thing about it is this. I don't. I'm back and forth between that. Because the thing is that we're of a certain age where celebrities were really celebrities, and you had to work to become a celebrity.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
we have this vision of what a celebrity looks like. That
Mhm.
is not
That's
the
true.
person anymore.
Mm-mm.
That celebrity is not there anymore. That's not. We're not pumping out those type of celebrities anymore. So now We're trying to keep We're trying to keep a dying breed still alive, which
Mhm.
now these new people are becoming celebrities overnight. So
Yeah.
no, they don't have media training. No, they're not getting like they're already going to they're getting these big opportunities before somebody even get to them. So
Yeah.
they don't even have managers or agents or anything.
Right.
They're getting these big opportunities. So the thing is, I think that the celebrity now that's coming about are people. They are our everyday average people that was just regular on Monday and they're celebrities on Friday. So
Some
they don't.
people that was not in your class, and because remember they used to separate us from classes, if
Yes,
IQ and all that stuff. So
yes,
it's like who was in the other class,
you
they
know.
passing us, and it's just
Hmm.
like he said, it's just like an overnight thing or whatever, and they
And
just they
so
just going with the flow as they should.
as
You know
they,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
they're riding the wave that it is.
Yeah,
So what we think is the 1-2 step that should be is not it's not 1-2-3-4 anymore. It's like 1-4-2-7-10-3-4, and that's the process now. And I think that yes, unfortunately, when we look at it, we're like, dang, I wish you would have had somebody there to do it, but they're getting these opportunities, and if they don't feel it's a situation like where how are you going to tell me I'm doing it wrong anyway?
Mhm.
Because I'm here,
Right.
So
Right.
media train me now. I'm here. I'm having an interview with CNN. So you obviously I'm obviously doing something right. So
Well,
they see the way I am.
I think the important part of it is it's not even so much about trying to show them how to do it. It's just that we just want you to have longevity. and what it is that
Yes.
you're
I
doing.
know, but it's true.
And
But
to attract more brands so that you can keep that, because sometimes we get
Hmm.
these overnight success, and that's exactly what they are, just overnight success. But
well,
the problem is that they've given them, they don't rolled out the red carpet for them, and it's like, nah, we won't even hear about them no more in 2 and 3 years, you know?
well, I mean, but we have that same moment with people that have all the media training and everything. We don't hear
Yeah,
from them, but so it worked the same
like
both ways.
like Milli Vanilli.
But,
That's
right.
that's crazy.
They have all the media training. I mean, it's so many artists and people that we've seen that also they did the right steps, and
Right.
they still don't make it. So who are we to say?
So what? Quiet as it's kept, Milli Vanilli kind of created the game, but we ain't giving them their props, and that's just crazy.
Y'all are too hard on them.
Right.
I love Milli Vanilli.
You love whoever sung the song. Okay, well,
I mean, look at it this way: they had great marketing.
Yes,
they did.
They had great marketing.
the definition of fake it till you make it.
They
Exactly. So I'll give them props for that.
Like
definitely,
we can't knock.
Exactly.
I mean, because look at it. Jennifer Lopez still going on.
but she looked good though.
I mean, she do look. Millie Vanilli look good too.
They did.
They did. They did look good.
Okay, well, we're coming to the end of the show. Derek, do you have any last thoughts that you want to leave with the audience? And make sure you put your handle so they can know how to get in contact with you, so you can get some more of them brand deals, child.
Exactly.
I think that was what I said in the beginning with going into this space. I was about just being authentic, showing your true self for who you are, and also just being in control of the narrative of the story that you're telling. That's the best advice I can give anybody. And I'm easy to find. I'm Derekj here on everything. I'm Derekj here all across the board. So I'm not hard to find.
Well, we're so glad to have you, and it's been a pleasure speaking with you. And I look forward to being able to see that art show when you put it together. I will show up.
Yeah.
But looking forward to it, definitely.
Okay, well, I think my last thoughts is I'm just gonna echo what Derek said. Just be you, be authentic, because I definitely feel like we're living in times now where the gimmicks are cool, here and there, but it gets tiring, and you want to see something real. You want to be able to relate to something. And unfortunately, that's what we're suffering from. There's not a lot to really relate to anymore, really truly connect. Mm-hmm. So, Derek, thank you so much for coming on here and being our special guest. You were wonderful. And I think I got some media training from you while we were on air.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you.
Yes. Well, that's going to be the conclusion of our show. Be sure to follow us on all of our social sites. It's going to be listed. And we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Definitely. Bye.
I'm living my dreams.